Live from Toast Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout podcast. Toast, built for restaurants, built for you.
We're very excited for today's episode. Joining us is our friend, Mr. Kevin Bazner, Chairman and CEO of A&W Restaurants.
It's not Bazner?
This is going to be, it's not Bazner, it's Bazner.
It's Bazner.
And this is going to be, we check those things. Data guy.
Yeah, no, we do.
But listen, we appreciate our patience of our guest. But before we let him in, we have to play Trivia Tuesdays.
Oh,
we
100%.
release our podcast on Tuesday, so not ever to be confused with Taco Tuesday. We're going to play our own game. I'm going to give you 3 factoids about our friend Kevin. 2 are true, and 1 is less than true, also known as a lie. And at the end of the show, Schatzy's going to guess which were the 2 truths, which was a lie.
I think I crushed it last week, didn't I?
You did crush it last week, but you were wrong.
Oh.
You crushed it and wrong, and I was right.
Oh, I was wrong?
Yes, you weren't paying attention to the details. Words matter, Shatsy.
No.
Words matter.
All right, you tricked me.
I didn't trick you. I just paid attention to the
was
words.
Trickery.
All right, here come the 3 facts. Okay, 3 factoids. Fact 1. Our friend Kevin visited 57 countries and has flown around the world 35 times. 57 countries, flown around the world 35 times.
Flown around the world.
Flown around the world.
Like started in like New York and went around the world and landed back in New York 35 times.
And I'll let you reflect on that as I read fact 2. Kevin reads 70 books a year. 70, Shatsy. By the way, your number could, if this is true, your number is close to Kevin's. You just leave
I
out
read
the
magazines.
7.
Are magazines included?
And the 0 of his is your number.
I read the New York Post every day. That's got to
Every day.
count for something.
Yeah, it counts for nothing. Sorry, New York Post. Fact 3. Kevin is a professional singer and has auditioned for American Idol.
I've watched American Idol a lot.
Yes.
But he auditioned. It didn't say he was on.
There's the audition for American Idol. By the way, American Idol's produced a lot more celebrity stars than The Voice.
All right.
Sorry, Voice, you're not keeping up. That's why it's American Idol. All right, fact 1: Kevin visited 57 countries, flown around the world 35 times. Fact 2: 70 books a year. Fact 3: professional singer has auditioned for American Idol. Stick around to the end of the episode. Shatsy will guess. Kevin will tell us the truth, and we'll have some fun with that. All right, Shatsy.
All right, let's go. Before we bring in Kevin.
Before we bring in Kevin,
we now know a couple of truths and a lie. But we have to learn, how did Kevin become? How do you become the chairman and CEO?
The chairman of the board
of A&W Restaurants. How does that happen, Jimmy? It's not easy.
I think I know how it happens. All the great CEOs start in one place. Go ahead, Shatsy.
I like to lay out the roadmap. So
roadmap.
Our listeners out there, if they want to take Kevin's job, they know exactly what to do.
Here it comes.
Okay, so first, you got to start washing dishes.
Got to wash dishes.
You got to wash dishes. 14 years old, you got to start washing dishes. Probably not even getting paid. You know what I mean? Probably not even getting paid.
Statute of limitations is expired.
Yep. You go to college. Not 1, but 2. You get an MBA. If you want to be, A&W's not hiring anyone, Jimmy, if you don't have an MBA.
You want the cheese? You got to get 2 degrees.
100%. Okay. And you start as an A&W lifer. So if you're not working at A&W right now, there's no chance you can be the chairman. Okay, you got to start. Your first job has to be at A&W. Chairman must be lifelong. Okay, and then I'm looking here. I don't know, there's something about Avantana Ventures. I don't know what that means, but there's something there. He was at Smoothie King. He was the CEO of Smoothie King. That's a big one. So I guess he wasn't a lifer at A&W.
He took a break.
My notes are a little messed up here. I got to be honest. It says he was a lifer at A&W, but at some point he went to Smoothie King. I don't know we'll get that. And he went back to A&W in 2001. So he took a break. I think, it's enough with the root beer. Sometimes you want a little smoothie, you know what I mean? Well, listen, without further ado, I think it's time that we bring in the chairman of the board, Mr. Kevin Bazner. Here he is, CEO and chairman of A&W Restaurants. Kevin, great to have you on the show. What did I get right? Did I get anything right? Your name is Kevin Bazner.
Great to be here, guys. I appreciate it, and I don't know about the rest of your audience, but I've just been entertained for the last 10 minutes, and I appreciate that because every day needs a little laughter. You
do. I got to tell you.
We're selling root beer here. We're selling food for money. We like to keep things light within the brand, but you got a lot of things right. My lifer with A&W is a full circle. I left the business during ownership changes, went off and did some other stuff. Came back as president and CEO when we acquired the business from the previous owners back in 2011. I've recently, with the retirement of our long-term chairman, took on the chairman's title as well. So that's been, the last.
Did they increase your pay when you get that extra title?
No.
Really? They just gave you a title with no extra pay.
It was the way we were working it. This has been an intentional transition plan with people's retirements and that. I was doing the job.
You got to have Jimmy to be your agent.
Somebody's got to be because I didn't negotiate more money.
100%. You can't be the CEO and the chairman. You got to give you more money for that, Jimmy. Please.
Titles are cheap.
But titles are cheap, but I get a free lifetime supply of A&W root beer. That's worth something.
You're like Kramer from Seinfeld. You left lifetime coffee. I'll take it. Yeah. All right. So it's like, don't pay me anymore. Just give me A&W. Anyway, I apologize. I digress.
No worries.
I want to kick off, Shatsy, or I should say, Kevin. It is not lost on us how many executives, how many CEOs of tremendous restaurant companies, and we certainly put your company in that group, where the people started their careers as dishwashers.
Yeah.
And I really find that to be unique and special about our industry and the democratization of it, of how people start as the dishwasher. And by the way, anyone who owns a restaurant knows that position is critical.
It's the backbone, baby.
And that was actually one of the most original, one of the OGs of innovation was the dishwasher. But anyway, it's amazing. But can you take yourself back, 14-year-old Kevin, washing dishes? How did that experience shape your view of this industry? And did you ever see a career path for yourself when you as a young man and you were in the weeds, washing the dishes? Did you ever see a career path in food service for yourself?
It's only 15 years ago, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, it's only 15 years ago. I wish. Thank you. Yes and no. Yes and no. I was washing dishes, as many people do, started the career, whether it's us, whether it's where I worked. It wasn't A&W. That's the other thing you got wrong, Chesky. I did not start at A&W. It was a coffee shop, restaurant, pancake house, whatever.
When you say I come from a true middle class auto worker family. And allowances was a foreign word. And if you wanted pocket money, you went and worked. And so those entry-level positions, before that, it was delivering newspapers and that kind of stuff. So you went out and earned it. I liked it because I like to be busy and I like to interact with people. Now, from behind the dishwashers, not the premier spot. I like this role better, the top of the chain instead of the bottom. So chairman, what you're saying is chairman of the company is better than being the dishwasher? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
In a word,
I like
yes.
the pause. He's going to consider this.
I need to be like, you know what?
Yes.
Captain Obvious, but yes, we got that. But yeah, and then I just kept working in the industry, and I got to like it more and more, and was presented opportunities to do more. A lot of it, doing new things, traveling to new places, living in new places. And I really kind of liked it, and I made my career out of it. So some of it is happenstance, but I can tell you that 14-year-old Kevin and washing dishes, what it does give you in the role that I'm in today as the chairman of the company, is a deep appreciation for what our franchise partners do and what their managers and what their crew do every single day. It's complicated. I like to oversimplify things and we're selling food for money, right? There's an awful lot of things. I forget which one of you. Shatsy, you're the restaurant guy, right? You're the food. There's a lot that goes into that, right?
A lot.
And you want to bring a full-service restaurant to its knees, break the dishwasher.
Everything stops.
You said it. You clog up all the plumbing, right? So from the drains up to the where it starts, I think it just gives you an appreciation. And I think that's why, whether it's a dishwasher, but whether it's an entry-level position, I think that's what prepares a lot of good leaders is that empathy and that understanding of what it really takes to make happen what we're strategizing and we're planning and we're investing in making happen. So.
Yeah, I love it. I got to tell you, you're 100% right. And I just want to talk a little bit about A&W. And literally, it's older than sliced bread. 1919, A&W Restaurants was founded. Sliced bread, Jimmy, do you know what year?
I could take a guess.
Take a guess.
1928.
Oh, you cheated. You looked at the notes.
Oh, I read
Jimmy,
them.
I'm trying to play. I'm trying to have some fun here.
Okay. Ask me again.
Jimmy, know what year sliced bread was founded?
I could take a guess.
What guess?
1954.
No, 1928.
Okay.
Jimmy. Totally wrong. Not even close. Yeah, 1919 A&W Restaurants, and in 1928, Jimmy. Yeah, no, not 1954, Jimmy.
That was the 50s.
No, you're crazy.
Thought they
Anyway,
weren't making sandwiches in the
listen,
50s.
it's a brand that has been around a long time. I'm not going to say it's an old brand. I'm going to say it's been around a long time. And I'll tell you, Kevin, how do you take a brand that's over 100 years old and keep it fresh with the young, the Generation Zs, the millennials? How do you keep it fresh? How do you keep them going back? And how do you, because, Jimmy and I know A&W, but when, you talk to the young people, how do you get them to keep it going?
Yeah, great question. That's
Julie came up with that, by the way.
That's the ongoing questions that all brands have to ask themselves all the time, whether it's about the current upcoming generation Gen Z, before that millennials, big enough that you could bifurcate that into two millennial groups, and then boomers, which is my generation, et cetera. So Gen Z just happens to be, today's target customer, right?
Yep.
That we're going after. And so everyone's fascinated by it, and rightfully so. We all want to sell them products and want to services, et cetera. But how do we do it? There is a demand for uniqueness, there's a demand for flavor, there's a demand for authenticity. There's a desire to experiment, a willingness to try new things, customizable, big on beverages. You guys see it, you cover the industry, you see all the beverage companies out of there. Who heard of dirty sodas until recently, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And of course, it's that generation. So we're doing a lot of things along those in terms of, our value proposition has always been rooted in quality, certainly in the last 13 years, but really longer than that for the brand. And so quality products that we can target to that consumer's taste. So things that are a little bit more out there, tamarind in something, different spices, different sauces, and whatever. So we're experimenting with, and we're coming up with
Sauces
some
are hot
really
with the young
exciting
generation,
stuff.
right, Kevin? Everyone, the young kids are loving hot sauces. They're loving sauces.
Yeah, and it's got to be Instagrammable, right?
Yep.
It's got to be Instagrammable, because that's part of why they're paying $5 for a drink at 3:00 in the afternoon, right? And
They got to show their friends how cool they are.
You got to just show how cool the product is
Yeah.
that I'm consuming is. So we started to play in that space more and more aggressively. It's a big part of our brand strategy work that we're doing right now. We're updating every a number of years, several years. We are updating a brand strategy, and we're just really putting the final touches on that now for Gen Z. I can tell you, since we acquired the business, it's been all about millennials until recently. They're more technology savvy. So you got to get them to where they're at. You got to give them the product that's interesting to them. And it's more than about the product and the price they pay for it, but is it unique? Is it interesting? And is it something that they can share with the friends that, like, look what I did, look what I'm doing, right? And so that's, and then bringing the old to new, which is appreciated. That's that authenticity. We don't have to invent history. We don't have to invent nostalgia. We just have to. Up until now, our first brand strategy work that we did when we acquired the business, we were hip nostalgia. We think that's where now the new nostalgia comes in. We don't want to be hip. We're just new. We want to bring our own history forward, put a unique twist on it, right? And I'll give you one. Have either one of you heard of swamp water? Have heard of swamp water?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what is it? Do you know what swamp water is?
Well, I can only tell you, in the restaurant space, when we first started, we had a roadhouse, and we had swamp water. It was a drink that, it was like just a mixture of juices and booze, and it was just like green. And you said it was swamp water. It was like from Florida or Georgia or something. And Duke's used to have swamp water, and it was. And I think Brother Jimmy's had swamp water,
And that was a while ago. You guys, you're younger than I am, but you're not spring chickens.
No.
You remember
Jimmy's
swamp
not.
water. In A&W, that was a mixture of an orange drink that we had at the time and root beer. That was swamp water. And we floated a couple of dill pickles on top of it, 3 to be exact, which represented the lily pad.
Nice.
And then you put a little bit of pickle juice in it. And you know what? That's the kind of stuff the millennials are looking for today.
And
so not only were we the original craft beverage,
Yeah.
right? But we're ahead of our time in terms of doing different, unique things to it to just create chatter and create excitement with the consumers. This is what's old is new. That's the new stuff.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
I love you said a couple of times authentic, and I think that's so important that A&W has such a history and such a successful history. And again, you have an amazing product, but you also very quickly recognize the need for technology and these Instagrammable moments. It's the most important social media platform for restaurants because Gen Z really is looking for that. That dovetails. As you said, we're not spring chickens. We're of the generation.
I think we said you were a spring chicken.
I'm of the generation where I experienced the classic drive-in, and what as you said, what's old is new again. And in the case of A&W drive-in, I believe 20% of your stores currently still offer the classic drive-in service. And is there a game plan to capture the remaining 80%? How do you bring that drive-in nostalgia experience to stores that obviously don't have it, but there is that nostalgia. People know what it is, what it was. So how do you connect that? Because it's doing really well for 20% who have it. And how do you kind of bring that nostalgia or that element of Instagrammable moments to the 80% of stores that don't?
I mean, great question. If you'd have been having this conversation with me 12 years ago after we acquired the brand and we were putting our brand strategy together, we'd have paid you some money for that insight in that question.
How much would you pay, Kevin?
Well, it's too
what
long.
would you pay?
12 years later, it's free.
I'd have to be, not much, but we would have paid you for it.
Because Jimmy's always wanted to know what he's worth. Not much.
No, I don't want to get carried away here.
Okay.
Today, not so much.
But it's a question. It's a question. That we asked ourselves then, and we still ask ourselves then. I think we've sharpened our answer to that in that. It's not practical today for a lot of reasons that we can talk about at another time, relative to the viability, the economic viability of the drive-in, particularly since so much self-ordering, so much delivery, the business has changed so much. So
of course.
We don't want to. We're not developing new drive-ins. We're certainly supporting those those that exist with the same technology, but. What we're trying to do is through technology, right? What did you do in a drive-in restaurant? You ordered your own food from a speaker box in the hall, right? So now it's my smartphone on a QR code. I'm self-ordering again, right? Somebody on the other side, it happens to be going directly through technology, directly into the kitchen, onto the screen. There's no server needed. But then bringing the food out, right? Like you did, the car tray on the side of the window, right? Now we're bringing it out to the dining room. So bringing elements in as that customizable service, right, of that unique service that you're self-ordering. We're not bringing it to your car. Now we might be. Now, 60% of the business, ours is a little bit lower because we have a higher dine-in incident because of our mug, right? 50% of our business is through the drive-thru, right, or through delivery. So you're delivering the food. If the food isn't ready, and it usually isn't when you place your order at the drive-thru window, we're pulling you ahead and bringing your food out. Just like in the car hop, right? The food isn't ready for you to go. You order, we make it, we bring it out. We're just using technology to be in the middle of that, and then that helps us in very different platforms. And that's the other thing with the you see it with all the beverage guys, but certainly that generation and really the generation before then. And even my generation through COVID, I mean, the use of technology accelerated multifold through the pandemic. There's no question about it.
Without a doubt, sure.
Those of us non-users became much bigger users very, very quickly because we had to. And so we're taking advantage of that in the real, and the Gen Z expects it, right? Hypers is 67%, I think, is the last number. They really prefer not to talk to a person when they place the order. It's not because they don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to get it right. They want to do it themselves, and they want to make it customizable.
I know my kids don't want to talk to anybody, Kevin, so I'm going to have to just tell you. They don't want to speak to anybody.
They don't want to talk to anybody.
They don't want to speak to me.
I was trying to be nice about it. My kids are adults now, and they're going to have to deal with their own kids and their own families. But I get it, and so it's like, okay, so that's what they want anyway. Give it to them.
Sure.
And then provide the hospitality that you're losing in that interchange, right? That's what guys like me are worried about. And replace it with something else. We call it a dining room attendant. Instead of a cashier, how about a hospitality attendant?
Right.
In the dining room. So that's what we're doing. To bring that
It seems to be working well after over 100 years. You guys are still out there strong. Let's talk beverage strategy, because A&W resonates with beverage. I mean, people, when you hear A&W, you immediately think root beer, you think beverages. I mean, I don't know. I don't think people realize that. I mean, you're the original craft root beer. You're made in store, fresh, right? I mean, I don't think people realize that. A big trend right now is snacking. People are like, I'd rather than have 3 meals a day, I want to have 5, 6. Jimmy's up there in, 9, 10
well,
snacks?
I want my 3 meals plus 5 snacks.
Plus 5 snacks. You know, he goes to Baker's, does it. Yeah. But so how are you leveraging the whole, the snacking and your craft beverages to compete now with this afternoon rush? From what I understand, that there's some creative cold brew combinations at A&W, because I know cold brew is hot and people love that. So what's going on at A&W to help with this afternoon rush and that day part that's generally a little slow?
Yeah, interesting. But cold brew is not hot.
Cold brew is not hot. That was
cold.
Jimmy. Jimmy, in my ear, Jimmy's like, Jackie, cold brew is really hot. Jimmy, can you do me a favor? Don't interrupt.
It's amazing. I got that message to you without even moving my lips.
Yeah, cold brew is what I meant to say. Is cold brew is not hot. What is hot is snacking. Snacking.
No, but they're both hot. They're big, significant trends in the industry. You see
Jimmy, thank you for telling me cold brew's hot.
The short answer is we're doing a lot in this space. We're doing a lot in the space, whether it be dirty sodas, whether it be energy drinks, whether it be cold brew, which is very cool.
It is.
It's trendy. It's trending and whatever. So we're coming up. We just had an innovation session literally last week, and some things that mixed with root beer. I can't tell you too much because then I'd have to. Well,
By the way, there's no one listening to this. So you can say anyone.
Yeah, no. But interesting things that cold brew and other elements mixed with root beer really do, and who knew? Is all I say out of our innovation session, how well we can play with cold brew with root beer. So try it. So we're working on things like that, not only in dirty sodas and the flavored creams in the soda. I don't know what we're going to bring out with yet, but we have started already. We just finished a promotion with, you'll remember, your generation, Cap'n Crunch. Well, we just did a Cap'n Crunch shake.
My favorite cereal of all time.
Which gives you permission to have breakfast for dessert, right? And so that's an example of that snacking craze. Before that, it was.
Is that breaking news?
No, that's finished. That finishes today. Right?
Oh, that's an LTO.
That's an LTO. It finished today.
Old news. That's old news.
Yeah, and strawberry watermelon cream freeze, which is a different. It's sort of like a blended float with more ice cream, less root beer in it. In this case, strawberry watermelon. Again, unique flavors. It's hard to work with watermelon as a flavor. That is not breaking news either.
Kevin, are you going to give us any breaking news? I mean, we're trying to.
He's like a vault. He's a vault. He's giving you nothing.
And we're competing against CNBC here, man. And
By the way,
okay. Here's the breaking news.
Oh, here we go.
We're coming out. One of our very popular products, our white Wisconsin cheese curds, right? Which is a unique product with A&W. It's a premium snackable size. We do a lot of different things with it. Chili cheese on cheese curds, that snacking occasion, just the cheese curds itself in multiple different sizes. We've served them in multiple different sauces and things like caramel dipping.
Never
coming out with
New York, I'll tell you that.
What's that?
Cheese curds never took off in New York. I know
but I tell you, they are hot.
In the Midwest,
they're
right?
hot in the Midwest.
Yeah,
they really are hot.
Yeah.
They really are hot. And we sell a lot of them, so we're coming out with a unique flavor. We're bringing back, by popular demand, our Chipotle cheese curds. So that's breaking news.
There you go.
Not out there.
Yeah,
there you go. Now it's a return. It's like the McRib.
Breaking news, Hospitality Hangout. Kevin Bazner is breaking it right now. Kevin, what did you say?
Chipotle
cheese curds.
You heard it here live first on the Hospitality Hangout, continually bringing you breaking news. Thank you.
Yeah. That's literally a factious.
And the only thing that makes them better is our proprietary spicy papa sauce as a dipping sauce. So you didn't finish with the breaking news. Spicy papa.
There's more breaking news.
It comes with the spicy papa sauce. By the way, that's good that it comes with the spicy papa sauce, because literally Chipotle just sent Kevin a cease and desist Stop using Chipotle in your cheese curds. That's our name.
No, but I think he's allowed to use
Yes,
because
Chipotle's
it's
the
the pepper.
It's pepper. It's a pepper.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yes. I was kidding. I was joking about the Chipotle cease and desist order.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
I also said facts. Turns out.
Unlike a dishwasher, I get those notices if they were to come. A dishwasher, that's the good thing about being a dishwasher. I wouldn't have gotten that notice.
Wouldn't have got that notification. Listen, I want to talk about the tech transformation, a big focus, and you've already alluded to it, that you're leaning into the tech stack, particularly for your guest engagement and engaging with Gen Z. I think you're in a unique situation is that you now have the ability to thoughtfully build a tech stack. As you take your brand and bring it to Gen Z, talk about how you're investing in automation, how you're bringing automation into your business. Where do you see the biggest returns on these tech investments?
Yeah, great question. And we've had, digress just for a moment, and we've had the great opportunity of watching everyone else get out there ahead of us and learn from some mistakes and whatever, but also learn from their successes. One of your sponsors, Toast, we know them well, we know their technology well, but you got to be there. And we were late to the game. Going into COVID, we did not have a delivery program. We didn't need it. It was the drive-ins and the drive-throughs that really carried us through. Coming out of it, we knew we'd do that. So we brought all that in and everything, and we're just catching up to the industry. We're be able to do it more quickly and more cost effectively.
I was going to say more efficient.
The opportunity because we've had the opportunity to learn from it, see everybody else's mistake.
Right.
When I talk to people in the industry and I say, we're finalizing, we're rolling out centralized POS, I say, didn't you already have that? And we didn't, but we do now. And what we're able to do that. But the biggest thing for us is in what, just the economics of this business. They've changed, multiple times in my career, and they've changed as a result of COVID and delivery and everything else, is the self-ordering piece. Whether that self-ordering piece is a kiosk, whether that self-ordering piece is a cell phone and a QR code, whether that's a tablet from the drive-in restaurant, if you still want to put an order taker out there, whether it's a line buster or whether it's online, white label delivery or third-party delivery, a big percentage of the industry business now is being done with online order. I've got some stores in Asia. I just came back. We've got a big presence in Southeast Asia. We've got some stores in Singapore, for example, which is a company store market that we're getting a lot of learnings for and bringing back here. We do 90% of our orders are placed by the consumers themselves.
Now let me ask you something.
90%.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. But like you just bring up Singapore and Asia. I mean, is the A&W brand must resonate with them because it seems like nostalgia Americana, which seems to me they love that, right?
Well, we get nostalgia Americana, absolutely. Everybody wants a slice in it. And I can tell you from an international perspective, broadly, among the people, forget the politics and all that aside.
Right.
America is still very well looked at as the leader in a lot of stuff. And people want to emulate that. And I don't care what culture, what country I've been, they want to emulate that. So I can't say we don't try to take advantage of that with the All-American Food tagline. Of course we do. We're in business to sell food for money, right? Well, that's what we're trying to do here. And so but here's a bit of history that you can tuck away and research as you're getting the other jingles down, Chatsy, is we have been in Singapore and in Okinawa, Japan since 1963. We have our own nostalgia within those markets.
1963, that's crazy.
Yeah, XGIs from the war, from the Second World War, married a local, brought the franchise. Now, it's not the business that it is today. Those were single unit operators.
Sure.
Today we do in big multi-unit operators. We've developed our own restaurants in Singapore as sort of a training and innovation center for the region out there. And then we're also bringing stuff back. I just had my head operations person and trainer in innovation and marketing to see what best practices we could share. And technology is one of them. And you get into that, and we're not giving. That's where putting the cashier in the dining room rather than behind the cash register, because 90% of the customers are ordering the food themselves. Okay. What can I get you? Is your food okay? Here's your float. Fresh food, fresh made for you. That's how, again, circle back, I know, that's how we're bringing the drive-in into the dining room.
Right.
Into the restaurant of today.
I love
technology.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Let's jump into hot or not, Jimbo, okay? Yeah, but are you ready for a little hot or not?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's just don't bring cold brew back into the question.
No, never. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring...
Let's start with craft mocktails, because I've been digging in this topic, and you said it's hot. I've been looking at alcohol sales, that wine, beer, spirits, and for the first time in 30 years, they're going down. So why don't you talk a little bit about craft mocktails, and it's hot, and you talk about Gen Z, which has really been a big impact on the drop in these sales. Why don't you comment on for your business why that's so hot, or just why you enthusiastically embrace it as hot?
100%. Well, I mean, all of the above. I mean, it's hot because it is. I mean, it's hot because it is. Alcohol sales are down. We've got a nice spike through COVID. Right, where,
do you think people are confused by A&W at root beer, and they think that A&W root beer is alcoholic?
Well, we've had that perception over the years, but I think particularly
so they think they're actually drinking alcohol, but really they're not.
Kids like to play with it. Back when I was a kid and I got that mug of Frosty Root Beer, I could pretend I was
with the foam, yeah,
right. Same with you guys, right?
Right?
You did the same thing. You had it. So it's not that, but it's that craft beverage trend, right?
Yep.
And so if you're in the bar business, and I'm not, I was in a long time ago in my career, I was in the bar business, but it's really back to that craft beverage and that Instagrammable beverage and the playing with colors and layers and whatever. And they're doing a lot in the food service and casual dining space that do alcohol, are playing very strongly in that space, and in my opinion should be. That's what the beverage guys are doing. The coffee guys are no longer coffee. The coffee concepts are no longer coffee concepts. They're beverage. Dunkin's started that 15 years ago. They wanted to be
I think Starbucks
two chairmen ago. They wanted it. Yeah. They said we want to be a beverage company, not recognized as beverage, not coffee. So mocktails, I stand by it. Not just because it's convenient for our brand. It is. Right, with the original craft beverage, made in the store fresh daily with virtually the same recipe from 105 years ago, still the same thing, and in the frosted mug, which you can't forget, and so it's good for us. But I still stand by Jimmy that it's a hot trend.
Yeah, it's A&W root beer with that frosty mug taste. I gotta get the rest of the words. How do I not have that? I gotta get. All right, at a commercial break, Jimmy, I'm going to get that.
Yeah, we don't have commercial breaks.
What do you mean? We can do whatever we want. It's our pocket. We take a commercial break. We want to take a commercial break.
Can we at least have Julie record it so we have it for...
Yeah, obviously. I'm going to get that on there. Don't worry about that. 100%, Kevin. All right, listen, let's go a little... I think, you know what? I hear music, Jimmy. I hear music. It's not my favorite song, but it's up there. You know this. You think it's a disco. You think it's Gloria Gaynor. No, it's not, Jimmy. What is it? It's the disco version of The Price is Right. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what this is. It's like a disco. We're gonna go a little Spice is Right, Jimbo. Okay, Kevin, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. So listen, we talked about snacking. I'm gonna ask you and Jimmy to go head to head, and guess the price. Are you ready? Aunt Annie's Ultimate Pretzel Party Pack. Aunt Annie's Ultimate Pretzel Party Pack. Okay, here's what the Aunt Annie's Ultimate Pretzel Party Pack includes. Say that fast.
Say that fast. Say that 10 times fast.
2 original pretzels. Jimmy, normal size.
Normal size pretzels. Thank you for clarifying.
Kevin, the regular size. Then 2 cinnamon sugar pretzels. My favorite.
That's 4 pretzels in total.
1 pepperoni pretzel.
Oh, that's 5 pretzels.
Didn't even know they had something like that at Aunt Annie.
They stuff it with everything.
1 pretzel dog.
6 pretzels.
And 3 sweet or savory dipping sauces of your choice. So how many pretzels you got? 2, 4, 5, 6 pretzels and 3 sauces.
And 3 sauces.
Kevin, would you care to guess? Now remember, Price is Right rules are in effect. You cannot go over or you lose. And if I can tell you, it's a fabulous showcase, great prize. You're going to be super excited. And I got to tell you, this is, just so you know, the price was taken from the American Dream Mall in gorgeous East Rutherford, New Jersey, and does not include tax or tip.
Okay, well, I was going to ask for a clarified question that you answered. Where is the venue? Because that matters, right?
Yes.
So let's say, so you're saying a mall venue, a cart or a kiosk in a mall.
Yep.
Right?
In New
So
Jersey, which Jimmy doesn't want.
In New Jersey. It's not Short Hills Mall, is it?
It's not the Short Hills Mall, the American Dream. I like that you got that there. You knew that was high end. That's like an extra $1 or two.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. That's why I asked the questions. I'll take it. Do I have to go first, or does Jimmy go first?
You can let Jimmy go first. You're the guest.
No, I'll go first. I'll go first. You're being nice to me.
I'm gonna lock in my price now, so Schatz doesn't accuse me.
Yeah, actually, Jimmy, you should not go.
$16.99.
$16.99. Okay. All right, we got it. Jimbo, would you care to place a guess?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. I locked it in. I wrote it down, and I'm not going to change it. And I think I'm going to embarrass myself now. I was $29.95.
I think it was somewhere in between.
I was $29.95.
Wait a minute.
If we're in between, you win, because I was going to go over.
I got to be honest with you. I got to tell you, I don't have the right special music. When you win both showcases because you're within $1, you win both showcases?
Yes.
Jimmy, you have won both shows. $29.95. If $29.99 was the price of the Aunt Annie's Ultimate Pretzel Party Pack, I gotta tell you, Jimbo, you don't usually win that.
I usually don't win that.
You know, Kevin, he does not win that.
I'm embarrassed. I'm actually embarrassed because as soon as I gave the answer, I knew I was wrong. Because when I came up with my answer well into 20, I said that can't be right.
Well, you know what, Kevin? Because
we all know what's happened with pricing.
Kevin,
okay.
would you like to guess the price of the Aunt Annie's Ultimate Party Pack?
$29.99 in a mall in New Jersey.
Like Jimmy, on the nose, Kevin. I gotta tell you, no one knows the business like Kevin. I gotta tell you. On the nose, you hit it.
He's taking my. I was closest to the pin. 4 cents. I was 4 cents away from me.
I mean, it's never been. I don't think it's ever happened. On the nose, I gotta tell you, unbelievable.
How can you
Great
beat that?
guess.
You guys are too kind. You guys are too kind to an old guy. So.
All right.
All right. That was classic.
All right, listen, at the top of the show, we went through our little trivia game. Now it's time for the big reveal. 3 factoids about our friend Kevin. 2 are true, 1 is not. Shazzy's going to guess. Quick reminder. Fact 1, Kevin has visited 57 countries and flown around the world 35 times. Fact 2, Kevin reads 70 books a year. That's approximately 70 more than Shazzy. And third fact, Kevin is a professional singer, has auditioned for American Idol. What says you, Mr. Schatzberg?
This is really hard.
Really hard. Really hard.
This is really hard.
I got my guess in. I'm locked in.
I'm going to say Kevin has visited 57 countries because this guy has been open up. I mean, here he's dropping Singapore and Samoa, American islands there, and crazy things like that. So I think that's true. So the singer and his audition and reads 70 books a year. Like who cares about reading 70 books a year?
A person that reads no books a year would not care about that. You're right.
That's me.
My wife probably is about 50 books a year. She would be very impressed by 70. She's about 50.
Yeah, Jillian reads a book in a day, which I find insane to me.
So how many books you read a year?
Me?
No, Jillian.
I don't know, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's no, not a day. I'm saying she can read a book. Like she sits down, she reads an entire book in a day.
Right, I
have trouble in a year finishing a book.
Get back to the game.
I think that Kevin reads 60. I'll say the lie is that he's not a professional singer.
Not a professional singer.
No, he has never auditioned for.
Don't now trash his silky smooth voice because that might be the answer.
The guy sings. Right now, when he speaks, it's like music.
Okay.
I mean, he sounds like a bird. It's gorgeous.
Kevin Schatzy's locked in. What's the truth? What 2 of the truth? What's the not truth?
Well, I have something in common with Shatsy, and that is I can't sing.
Oh, yes. Ding. Yeah, he reads. He's a reader. He's traveling. Yes. When you're traveling on those planes going to Singapore, you're reading.
Yeah, when I started talking about Singapore and whatever, I figured I was toast on this 2 truths and a lie. I figured
no pun intended there, huh? Yeah. On the dropping the toast again. Do you guys are you guys Toast customers?
We have a handful of operators that do use Toast, but it is not our enterprise solution. great product
Right.
for the right target customer.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out. Don't worry.
And it's yes, we know them, but we are not a customer. They're not our legacy platform. It can't do. It doesn't do everything we need it to do.
No, you're 105 years old. You got to go with the cash register. Crying out loud, right?
Oh, no, we're still in cigar boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Touche.
The problem is nobody carries cash.
Yeah, you can have a cigar box. There's nothing in it. Maybe a cigar. It is true about the cash. It is funny, you used to really think about the night drop and the night drop and the cash in the morning. Really, that's not really an issue anymore. There's other issues, but that ain't one of them. All right, listen, we're gonna go to branded quickfire, Jimbo. Kevin, are you ready for a little branded quickfire? I'm gonna have 5 lightning round questions.
Sure.
Don't think too hard. Just give us the first answer. If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be? And it can't be me. It can't be me. So you can be Jimmy, but not me.
I would like to have dinner with somebody the likes of, how about Gandhi?
Gandhi'd be good dinner.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you Gandhi like root beer. How about them apples?
He definitely like root beer.
100%.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no question.
What's the most used app on your phone?
The most used app on my phone is, oh God, what's an app and what's not an app? But I would say the most used app on my phone is the weather app.
Yeah, I like the weather app. Are you using the weather.com? Like, are you going weather.com? Like, is that what you go?
I don't know. It's whatever the symbol, when I push it, takes me to. But yeah, I think weather.com, because I'm a golfer. We have restaurants all over the country. I watch the weather. I watch the weather a lot, particularly on weekends and whatever, not for personal, but for business. When we have sunny weather on the weekend, those drive-ins and those drive-throughs, they do a lot of business. If it's raining and sleeting, it doesn't. So I do a weather app. And as much as I travel, I like to know what's going on with the weather.
Between you and I, and no one's listening, just between you and I, when you're thinking about visiting stores around the globe, do you only pick stores that are near good golf courses? Like,
No.
is this
No, I
between
never play golf when I travel.
I'm not telling anybody, but is that really, like, if it's in a shitty location, you're like, there's no way I'm going, there's no golf anywhere near there?
No, I almost never play golf when I travel, either personally or professionally. No wink, no wink. My wife does. Put it this way: my wife doesn't play golf.
Okay.
So we travel a lot. She travels a lot with me, both personally, obviously, and professionally. And
Right.
she was with me in Southeast Asia, and she doesn't play golf. So out of consideration, I don't play golf. And when we go to the holiday, I don't play golf. So I'm not in the habit of doing that. You've heard the term happy
wife, happy life.
Yeah, so there you go. So I don't play golf when I travel.
This is the fastest quickfire thing we've ever had, Jimmy.
I was gonna say,
Kevin, I got to tell you, you're doing a record. This is fastest quickfire ever. I'm on the second question. Just get a half hour.
Take your time.
And we're out of town? Out of town.
No, we're not. We still have loyalty or airline loyalty. You travel a lot. What do you?
Yes.
You want to have those hotel points, or are you taking the airline points? What do you want first? What's the most?
Both Marriott and United.
No. Now we know you like United and Marriott. Which one? If you can only have one, which one are you taking?
United.
United over the Marriott.
Yeah, the flight's key.
I'm not going to give you an explanation because I'm already taking too long a time. But yeah,
you're right. What is your Uber rating, Kevin? This is something that's been creating a lot of contention with Jimmy and I.
I don't really know my Uber rating. I do use Uber a lot. I can tell you that Uber and everything else.
Do you have your phone on you?
I'm a very good.
Open up Uber. Let's check, Jimmy. How's yours? Mine changed a little bit.
I'll check.
Check your Uber and just open up the app and go into where's the account.
Let me go in. I'll tell you. I'll be honest. I'll even put it on screen if you want me.
Yeah, no, we have to verify.
My app is open.
I'm at 481.
Where do I go? Where do I go? To my account?
Yeah, you go to account and it should be right up there.
All right.
Well, okay, you guys go first.
I'm a 486.
I'm 481, and I just verified, by the way. I put my license in there. I think that it's going to help my rating because they'll know who I am, and I think that scares people. Like I could be
486 verified.
That's solid. Are you verified, Jimmy? You verified?
I'm verified. 486 verified.
486 verified. I never knew how to do that, but I assumed I was high because I treat them well.
It's a fun.
I treat everybody in the service industry very well because I come from it.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I did too, but apparently the Uber drivers aren't feeling that I'm very hospitable. But I'm telling you,
maybe you're singing jingles. I don't know.
No, my voice is terrible.
He yells at the driver.
I'm not yelling.
I can't believe you're 481.
I'm going to tell you something today. I will tell you.
You don't think you should be that high?
I don't think you should be that high.
I was on a call today in an Uber. Okay, listen. all good, okay? But in New York City, Jimmy, some of these Uber drivers, with all due respect, I mean, honestly.
You can all do respect
No,
anything
just
you
listen
want.
to me.
You yell at the drivers.
No, just listen to me.
Kevin,
for a
you're
minute.
You're 481, dude. Come on,
Yeah,
dude.
no,
There's no
but
restaurants.
She's just looking at the map, and she's not, like, thinking about where we are. And it's just like whatever that thing says. If that said drive into the ocean, right into the ocean. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what are you doing? It doesn't say traffic, there's traffic. Go that way. It's like, you know, I mean.
Jimmy, does he have a point? I mean, you know him longer than I do.
Yeah, I think they literally give, it's like the SAT test. You sign your name to Uber, you get 4.8. And Chatsy then earned a 0.1. Like, I don't understand how you got 481. I don't understand. You're literally telling us a story about you yell at the driver this morning.
I didn't yell, I just was correcting her.
And you were using arm motion,
Not
body
profanity,
language.
though.
Yeah, all right. I can't believe you're. I love that Kevin and I are higher than you, but I just can't believe
I tip.
Like maybe that's you're buying.
I always throw an extra 20 at him. All right, listen.
Buying it, yeah, buying it.
If you were to challenge Jimmy or I to a game of Scrabble, what are your better odds of beating? This is coming from a guy who travels all over the world, 70 books a year, Jimmy. Who are you going to beat? By the way, my vocabulary consists of mostly 4-letter words.
Well, since
So
you
I don't know
don't,
unless you have
you
seen it.
don't seem to read very much,
Yeah.
Shatsy,
No.
I would think that you're
I do read
problem
the
in a
Scrabble dictionary, though. I do read the Scrabble dictionary. Because when I play Jillian all the time in the Hamptons. Like, that's a big thing for us.
Now,
And
I'll
she yells.
clarify something.
Yeah.
I play a competitive Scrabble with my wife. It's house rules. Forget the Scrabble dictionary. We don't play with it. So
What do you use?
you're
What
at
if
a
it's a
disadvantage.
challenge?
Well, we use the Oxford English and the Webster because my wife is British. So
Okay. But
you know,
you
so
update the edition because, you know, the words are constantly kind of evolving. Like, they're always Webster's always adding things.
I'd take you on, Chatsy.
I would. I got to tell you right now, I would guarantee you would beat me.
Okay.
But if you let me have the Scrabble dictionary, which when I play with Jillian, she yells at me. She's like, "You can't look up the." I'm like, "I'm just checking if it's a word."
Like in between plays, you're looking up the words.
Yeah, I'm like, she's like,
no.
"You're cheating." I'm like, "No, I just."
Yeah.
I know that's not in the rules anywhere. In fact, I know the rules explicitly exclude.
If you look
You
at
actually use a dictionary to make up words.
The inside of the Scrabble box has the rules. It says that you can do that. It's like a mulligan in golf. Kevin, you're a golfer. One time you're allowed. One look. You don't play that way with your wife? One look?
He plays competitive Scrabble. He's not
We
playing.
do, but we don't use the Scrabble dictionary. We do. No, we do. We do get a look. We do get a look to verify that the word we're actually going to use is real. We don't do it to look it up a word. We'd say, okay, I got this word. I'm looking it up, making sure it's real before.
Yeah.
So it's competitive. We
Right.
are. Listen, happy wife, happy life. We got to get alignment on what the rules are. And it doesn't matter if anybody doesn't like them because they don't have to live here.
I got to
Courteous competition.
Yeah, I
Courteous
got to
competition.
congratulate
Courteous
Kevin with over 250 or 300 episodes. He has definitely won the longest quickfire ever. I mean, the quickfire is basically a podcast.
That was probably pretty good. That could be a good podcast.
Well, let's take us home, Jimbo, because we're like at an hour here.
It's all good. We had a good time. Listen, Kevin, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, for all the work you and your company is doing for the industry. Love your brand. Really, the nostalgia, but also you guys have the best product in your space. You guys are the OG and still the leader of the root beer
There's nothing like
category.
There's nothing like a fountain root beer.
Yeah,
There's nothing like it. It's the most refreshing thing.
So the fact that you're, again, continuing to keep the brand current and connecting with Gen Z, we think it's awesome and continued success.
Hey, wait, I got to ask Kevin one more question.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Kevin, if you get an A&W out of like a can, is it like, would you know, like if I took a can and I took it out of the fountain, would you know the difference?
100%.
You would know the difference.
100%.
Would I know?
And a lot of our customers would know the difference.
You do.
If you're a regular drinker, you would notice the difference of either product because it is different.
All right, we got to do it. Next time we have Kevin on, we're definitely doing a taste test with him.
It's very similar. I mean, it's not for the faint-hearted to get into this challenge, but yes, I could tell the difference.
So you would be willing to take the A&W challenge?
Yes.
All right,
100%.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
We are going to have you versus Kevin sometime in the future. We're going to find out where we're going to be together. We're going to be together somewhere. Wait, where do you live, Kevin?
Lexington, Kentucky. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, we're in New York City. So you're in Kentucky. I don't know when we get to Kentucky, but we'll go. And we're going to do an A&W challenge, Jimmy versus Kevin, and it's really, the difference.
I think I'll lose that challenge. But the only thing I know is Kevin's like, what makes you think I'm welcoming you down here to my way? What do you think I'm going to do?
I just invited myself.
We are in the hospitality industry. You're always welcome. You're most welcome to come to Lexington.
Okay. Yeah.
And listen, even if you win or lose, we'll donate to charity a year's supply of root beer. How about that?
I like that. I
love it.
I do want to add that if you want to get in touch with Kevin directly, please email the podcast team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com. We'd be happy to make the introduction. And you can also learn more about A&W Restaurants at www.awrestaurants.com. That's how you get in touch with Kevin.
Can you say that again?
awrestaurants.com.
Oh, I like that. www.awrestaurants.com.
Yes.
A lot of W's.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to say, I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Obviously, it wasn't that funny.
That's okay. Anything else you should add? I'm going to wrap it up.
No, wrap it up.
I'm going to wrap it up.
I think we got it.
And finally, to our listeners, again, we do appreciate you guys continue to support what we're doing here. We're having a lot of fun, clearly. We're bringing on great guests like Kevin. But the fact is, our downloads, our subscriber base is blowing up. And we want to thank our friends at Toast and Pepsi and the other people that help, the corporate partners that make this work. But really having a lot of fun and bringing some fun guests. And hopefully
some rap, I got to tell you. It sounds like Kevin's quickfire is rubbing off on you, Jim.
A little info.
I couldn't even imagine Kevin and Jimmy at dinner. The talking that would just go on and on for hours, you guys.
Good night, Lucy. That's right. Good night, Grace.
Unbelievable.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.